I was out here all alone once. Bruce made me go out into the forest by myself for the first time. I had no idea what was out there.
You were just a boy. Those were the lessons that he taught you. Bruce was a psychopath, using fear to control everyone. You need to make sure that this doesn't happen to someone else.
Batman's ally was found dead tonight.
It's over for me. Be a better Batman.
Barbara?
Welcome back to Gotham, Dick.
Batman's gone. Gotham. It's mine now.
We're investigating this new Red Hood case.
Bruce, he said, be a better Batman. The Titans got this.
You know how crazy that is, right? Trying to step into your father's shoes.
I do, Commissioner Gordon.
The whole world is turned upside down.
I think I'm losing my mind.
If you're gonna dove, I'm gonna hawk. We need to stop him.
For cases like these, we've been using a consultant. Scarecrow.
Dr. Crane?
Dick Grayson. Red Hood is his biblical brother. The king moves stealthily in the shadows while the pawns are sent to the teeth of destruction. It's just his opening move.
Where I come from? You come after family? We show no mercy.
Welcome back, everyone. This is going to be my new Titan Season 3 trailer video. They're getting ready to drop the season on HBO Max. Remember, all those DC shows are on HBO Max now. So basically, this is Batman passing the mantle to Nightwing in Season 3. Like, he just became Nightwing during Season 2, got the brand new costume. Now Batman's like, you know what? You could be the new Batman now. Be a better Batman than I was. There's a whole bunch of Easter eggs here, so we'll break it all down. A lot of this should feel very familiar. If you're brand new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to get all the videos. There's a lot of Batman stuff happening in the next year. Between this, we have the Robert Pattinson Batman movie coming up next year, and they're still in the middle of filming the Flash movie with the Michael Keaton Batman and the Ben Affleck Batman as we speak right now. In fact, they actually just released some pictures of the Flash, the Ezra Miller Flash, inside Michael Keaton's Batcave. Of course, they brought back the classic 1989 Batmobile. I will mention that stuff later in the video because we will be getting a trailer for the Flash movie sometime later this year. But they open the trailer with the story of Dick Grayson driving to the woods outside Wayne Manor because remember, Batman basically owns all this land around the Batcave. So this is like the back road to get into the Batcave. They're cutting the footage out of order, so he's telling this footage to Scarecrow after he learns that Scarecrow is working for the Gotham City Police Department from inside prison to help them solve cases. Scarecrow being played by Vincent Kartheiser. Most of you will remember him as Pete from Mad Men. He's done a couple other things, but most people remember him from Mad Men. So it'll be interesting to see what his version of Scarecrow is like. He's kind of gone full Hannibal Lecter in Titan Season 3. In the story, he talks about how Batman made him go out into the woods by himself, basically to face his fears. It's implied that the child that you see in the trailer is part of that flashback, but it could be another child, just because they've shown a couple of different versions of young Dick Grayson in the series so far. Scarecrow starting the trailer off with this whole idea of Batman using fear on little kids, the idea that he's this terrible dad. They're sort of using that to build up to this moment where Red Hood gets killed while he's investigating this Joker crime and then becomes Red Hood. Like they want to pin it on Batman as if he's somehow responsible for this happening. And it does look like he blames himself, like, peace, I'm out, no more. Obviously very apropos that he talks about how Batman uses fear to control everyone because he is the Scarecrow. He very literally tries to use fear, like he has his fear toxin that he was using on everyone. And when Red Hood gets killed by the Joker here in what looks like their version of Amusement Mile in Gotham City, it looks like someone has been Jokerized. I believe Joker's serum is actually based on Scarecrow's fear toxin, like there's some of the fear toxin inside of Joker's serum. They show you a little bit inside the Batcave again. It's been a while since we've been in there, but there's also some images of Nightwing walking around, and you can see Jason Todd's Robin costume hanging up like they're looking at it as if it's some sort of specter of the past, like some ghost that's staring at them, judging them. It'll remind you of that scene of Batman v Superman with Ben Affleck's Batman staring at the dead Robin costume, even though that was meant to be Dick Grayson in the Zack Snyder continuity. The way Zack Snyder explained it, that was the whole reason why he added the Joker to the Justice League Snyder Cut in that ending scene. Because there's a brief moment before Evil Superman shows up where he and Joker sort of have it out over what happened to their respective sidekicks in the past. Joker starts throwing Dick Grayson's death in his face, and then Batman throws Harley Quinn's death in Joker's face. She begged me to kill you. Zack Snyder actually said that the studio was kind of pissed that he started adding all that new stuff to the end of the movie, but he was like, screw you guys, I'm doing it anyway. The only thing that he couldn't add back in was that Green Lantern scene. I've talked about that in a couple of my other videos, so I'll post some links for that down in the description, because he has since revealed what that was going to look like. It was basically going to be the debut of Jon Stewart in DC movies, but the whole thing is that Warner Brothers had their own version of Jon Stewart that they were going to introduce in some upcoming project, like the Green Lantern Corps movie that we have coming up in the next couple of years. So they basically threatened to not release the Snyder Cut if he kept Green Lantern in the movie. But then during Titans, when they're reporting on Jason Todd's death, you actually see a bunch of people's reactions as they sort of go around the city. This is actually meant to be the show's version of Tim Drake, so obviously he is the next Robin. But it seems like just based on the footage, he's still a ways off from becoming the next Robin. The team has a little bit of a reunion. It seems like they've all kind of been doing their own thing for just a little while. The way they play this scene too, this is obviously Dick Grayson inside Wayne Manor, and they imply that Batman has either killed Joker with the bloody crowbar that he used to kill Jason Todd, or he's done something really bad with it, like he's gone to a very dark place. I don't know how dark they're going to take this version of Batman. Like, there are certain rules about what you do and do not do with Batman, no matter where he's being used and what kind of project. I think the idea here is that he's just gone off the deep end and done something really bad with the crowbar that was used by Joker to kill Jason Todd. Like, he did something really bad to Joker. As far as I know, they haven't revealed who's playing their version of Joker on Titans, but I think we'll just see that when they actually drop the episodes. He's not really supposed to be a huge character during Season 3, but maybe during future seasons. Then it seems like there's some kind of small time jump, and Dick Grayson goes back to Barbara Gordon, who is now Commissioner, and they're kind of doing the Batman Beyond thing, only in Batman Beyond, it was like a much older version of Barbara Gordon, who became the same age as her father, Jim Gordon, when he became Commissioner. Batman Beyond was meant to be in the distant future, so it's like an 80-something Batman. So that was like 40, 50 years in the future from the timeline of where you saw all the Batman the Animated Series stuff with Batman in his prime. But as you can see, this version of Barbara Gordon is in a wheelchair, so she's kind of become more of an Oracle figure, combining the Oracle version of her character with the Commissioner Gordon version of her character. Because she seems a little bit older than Dick Grayson, I don't know if they're going to imply that they had some sort of romance in the past, but clearly it's been a long time since they had their version of the Killing Joke, so it seems like she hasn't been Batgirl in a while. So I don't know if we'll see flashbacks with her in the costume, because that would actually be pretty cool. They actually just confirmed who's going to be playing DC's version of Batgirl in the new Batgirl movie that they're doing for HBO Max. It's Leslie Grace. She was just in that In the Heights movie, which I haven't seen yet, so I can't really say anything about her performance or what she's like as an actress. I think they're doing it this way just to have some parody with the Matt Reeves version of Batman, because in that Jeffrey Wright is their version of Gordon. So even though that version of Batman sort of exists in its own continuity on Earth 2, it's not in the same Earth as, say, like the Justice League version of Batman with Ben Affleck. I think logically they're trying to do some place setting so that in the future, like many years down the road, if they wanted to do a big crossover with Robert Pattinson's Batman, it would make a little more sense which versions you're seeing on screen. Then, like I said, at least a small time jump, because it's been enough time for Jason Todd to take on the Red Hood identity. Either he's been resurrected or he's been in a coma this whole time. They haven't explained how they're bringing him back. Like, does he really die, and do they really throw him in the Lazarus pit like the classic story, or are they doing something a little bit different? Because as far as I know, they haven't said anything about doing Ra's al Ghul or the Lazarus Pits during Titan Season 3. And as he says, there's no more Batman in Gotham anymore because he's sort of passed the mantle to Dick Grayson, and it seems like Dick Grayson hasn't completely figured out how he's going to handle all this. So there's a power vacuum. He says, Batman's gone, Gotham is mine now, and he starts gunning down all these mob members. It's a lot like the plot of the Under the Red Hood movie, with Jason Todd coming back to Gotham after a period of time, and then just going after all the biggest mobsters, killing them on sight. All this footage where Starfire is talking about losing her mind, going crazy, that's probably something that her sister Blackfire is doing to her just to mess with her. Like, we see Blackfire later in the trailer in what seems like some kind of containment device trying to break out. The whole thing with Blackfire is that it actually seemed like she was supposed to be the main villain of Season 3, but she might just be one of the antagonists. And the even weirder thing is that you actually see a whole bunch of Raven teaming up with her. Like you see Raven in all this armor that's made to look a little bit like Starfire and Blackfire's armor from their homeworld. I think the idea though is that after Red Hood has it out with the Batman family and the Titans again, then he will eventually become more of an anti-hero like he is in the comics. Some other much bigger threat surfaces that threatens them all, and that's when he helps them out. I think they could still use a speedster, and the Flash is getting ready for like season 8, so I feel like it's about time that they put a speedster on Titans eventually, maybe when we get to season 4 or season 5 or something like that. Big reminder about the Suicide Squad Peacemaker TV series. That's going to be dropping in January. It'll be a spin-off of the Suicide Squad movie. They haven't completely explained if it's a prequel or a sequel, but it'll be on HBO Max. I will be doing episode videos for that when it releases. It'll be around the same time that Marvel is releasing their She-Hulk series. The whole thing with the Matt Reeves Batman HBO series that he's doing, that's a spin-off of his Batman TV show, is that it sounds like it might not premiere till like the end of next year or maybe even early 2023, but it will be set during Batman Year 1 because the movie takes place during Batman Year 2. And I will also do videos for the Green Lantern HBO series, but that's probably not going to premiere till like the fall of next year. The next big series that I'm doing videos for is Marvel's What If series on Disney+. It's going to be a big multiverse show based on all the craziness that happened at the end of the Loki series in the finale. So make sure you have alerts enabled so you don't miss any of those episodes. You can click here for that new Loki Season 2 teaser and all the Kang deleted scenes, and click here for my full Marvel What If trailer video and Easter eggs. Thank you so much for watching. Everyone stay safe, and I'll see you guys tonight.